And in this video, I review what you think is the best lens for your phone. And just a big disclaimer, this lens was sent to me by the folks at BULLYEYES, but this is not a sponsored video. In this video, I will give you my real honest opinions about this phone attachment lens and whether or not I like it, I hate it, and whether or not you think that you should buy this. So when it comes to spending thousands of dollars on your first DSLR camera and you want to get into videography professionally and you don't have the budget to spend, let's say, $3,000 to $4,000 on top of a $1,000 to $2,000 lens, but let's say you have a limited budget, but you want to do it as a hobby so you can figure out whether or not you want to get into videography. Well, most people tend to forget that your very phone, the phone that you have, is a camera in of itself. This is a possible content machine for you. And I personally have not had any experience with using phone lens attachment. So my overall first impressions is that how can I put a lens attachment onto my phone and have it better my video quality? So straight out of the box, the BULLYEYES has essentially an ultra wide angle twistable lens. It has a macro lens on the very bottom, and just twist the ultra wide lens onto it. And how it works is it is essentially like a clothespin. You pretty much put the pin on top of your phone and you want to align it straight onto your rear facing camera. But the cool thing about this lens is that you can use it for any phone, and you can also use this on the front phone as well. So here is how it looks clipped onto the phone on my rear facing camera. And you essentially twist it off. You want to have macro views for anything like you want to do super close-ups. And my overall first impressions of this lens is it's very simple. All you really need is like a plug and play. You put it straight on top of your phone, and the lens in front lets you record an ultra wide angle, as it says here, 0.45x, 15 millimeter, 120 degrees, HD, AU, UV. And it essentially takes your normal crop when you film in 1080p and makes it into a wider lens. And the lens underneath it is essentially a macro lens where you can do some cool things that I've never even myself had experience in, like macro video or photography. But you guys knowing me, I am a videographer at heart, an aspiring content creator, and I gave this a little test of what it can do for your phone. But big disclaimer, this really depends on the phone that you have, and the lens is just an added boost. So let's talk about the pros of this lens attachment. Well, it is budget friendly. For under $50, you can put this onto your phone and you don't have to worry about, buying a big fancy DSLR. And also has variations like an ultra wide as well as macro, and it's simple, very simple to use. And you're good to go. Super light, and it does what it's supposed to do. Have your camera see it as another added lens because you're putting glass on top of glass, and that's how understanding camera works. And this is a good, I would say, entry-level enthusiast if you don't want to shell out thousands of dollars on a camera and all you want to use is just your phone. But now let's get into the cons of this and why you should maybe consider shopping around. And I would say the con of this is that it does get a little bulky when you put this onto your lens. And it kind of wiggles like that, and not the most, I would say, aesthetically pleasing when it comes to this clip here, but I guess I understand why you need it. And it works much better if you don't have your case on it. So that would be another con where I actually prefer to have my case on, but it feels like it wiggles a lot more. And another con is that you get a little bit of vignetting if you don't put this lens straight onto the camera hole itself, because you will see black around the edges, because that is pretty much means that the lens is not centered on the camera lens, and it's also an issue for the front as well. But once you have and get used to the proper adjustment of this lens, then it will do its magic. So overall, in my opinion, do I think you should pick up this lens attachment for your camera? I definitely recommend this if you don't want to shell out thousands of dollars again, because when people get into videography, people are always like, I don't have the money, if this is not an excuse anymore. People often think that your phone is a great alternative for your camera. So if you only have, let's say, under $100 budget, definitely pick up this lens. I would definitely recommend it, and you'll be amazed at what your phone can do. And again, this was my honest opinion, and another excuse of why you don't have excuses to film stuff. Look, you have your phone. Everyone has a smartphone now. Go out there and film awesome videos, and then use this as a foundation to where maybe one day you save the money so you can buy an entry-level DSLR and keep building up your skills and your repertoire. My name's Peter. You're watching Broke Vision Collective, where we all start with nothing, but you can always create something.